What the Mojave lacks in justice, it makes up in fear. The oldest weapon in the book is also history's greatest demotivator. It's unpredictable. What may petrify a lion in place can also turn the most inoffensive lizard into overconfidence. And if there's something reigning supreme in the Mojave, is the impunity that comes with overconfidence. But no longer, cause from here on out, every thug in this old desert will learn what criminals fear most. A man who doesn't break. A man who doesn't stop. A symbol for I am vengeance. I am the knight. I'm Batman. Deliverer of justice, just not of platinum chips. It's been, well, let's call it a rough day. And so, can you eat Fallout New Vegas as Batman? A tickle to the brain and the weird dream later in the courier now believes to be Wayne Bruce, Bat. Now, I like to tailor the stats to the run and the skills and traits to the character, so I'm gonna go with 9 in strength, endurance, and intelligence, 6 agility, 5 perception, and 1 in both charisma and luck. The tagged skills are melee, sneak, and unarmed. And as for the traits, good-natured and heavy-handed seem to fit quite well. As I'm coming to my senses, I realize that, this ain't Alfred. It seems that a good doctor has patched me up, and he tells me that a cowboy robot dug me from a grave? Okay, the Joker has gone too far, caught me off guard, stripped me to my underwear, put me 6 feet under. At this point, the only upside is that no one in this town seems to know my true identity. Doc Mitchell and Victor were both kind enough to give me some supplies, and in the general store, I am surprised to see the Batmobile bike as scrap must have been recovered from the premises of the cemetery by Chet. Maybe we can find some of our gear left behind over there. And while the bike was for sale, it's completely busted, but oh well, we'll fix it. Near the old apartment, where I almost got to meet my parents, we find a snow globe, some clues left behind by our attackers, and what? Oh no, what have they done to my grapnel launcher? It's looking a lot worse for wear, but it's still completely functional, though now it's just a grappling hook. At least it works. It ain't much, but it's a start. I need to get to the Batcave. And fast. So I pimped my ride, installed a leaking gas tank, cause apparently that's on the menu, and a light bulb. We also got ourselves some beautiful camo paint job. It's best not to advertise that I'm Batman until I suit up, that is. I changed the tires and oh wow, this is really busted. Turns out it was a really bad idea to install the leaking gas tank. By the way, that didn't explode by itself, I pressed the spacebar by mistake, twice. You know what, let's leave that garbage behind and put the grappling hook to good use. In Sloan, a quarry worker warns us that there are death claws up north. On the other hand, why would I listen to a guy named Chomps? And here's Snuffles! She's a cutie! She's also gonna have to wait a bit for me to patch her leg. As I'm getting used to the grappling hook, I pass through Neil's shack. Managed to avoid Neil, and the Vegas skip has never been easier. Had I known, I would have just flown by the Deathclaws, but alas. We passed through Cassidy Caravan Wreckage, and because we can now explore verticality, I decided to say hi to one of Camp McCarran's tower guards, and that almost killed me. Good thing that if you use the hook on the way down, it'll cancel gravity. Oh, the perks of being the heir to Wayne Enterprises. From here, we still got a ways to go, but it's gonna be a safe journey. I admire the monorail, almost break a foot. Go through the NCR Sharecropper Farms in style. Get the Gunrunner's map marker and keep going to the northwest bit of the map. The Cazadors, they can be fairly easily sneaked by, but we're way too fast to worry about such puny vermin. Eventually I reach Jacobstown. Marcus greets us, and as I'm looking at the map, turns out I could have just fast traveled to the Batcave. Found the entrance to Bat Pass, and a couple of steps later, it's Batcave. And it looks beyond awful. I don't know if there's a graphical issue or if that's just how it is, but I wouldn't have done better, so I'll leave it at that. And the first thing I see, Legion Denarius. Yeah, just the one. Oh, and there's a giant Nikki the T-Rex too. After one glitchy staircase, we're met with some goodies. Pre-war books, an acoustic guitar, Nuka-Cola truck, Sunset Sarsaparilla, a lucky 8 ball, an anti-material rifle. This isn't what I expected, but on top of things that I didn't expect, batarangs. Oh, I genuinely didn't have no clue they were included. This is awesome. I took the opportunity to create some more Steam packs and got what I came here for. Batman's weapons and armor, and Catwoman's suit and jewelry. And okay, maybe I don't need to carry over 9,000 of each Batarang. Turns out I didn't even need to pick the previous one, so after a bit of inventory management, it's time to choose our gear. And no, I won't be using the anti-material rifle, or the cowl eyes. We don't need cat-eye vision. But look at it! What do you think? It looks great! By the way, there's plenty of workbenches and beds around. There's even a terminal that goes on about the lore of the Joker, Bane, Poison Ivy, Catwoman, and Bruce Wayne himself. The only thing this mod lacks, and it's 1 mod out of 3, and they'll all be disclosed in the description, but what it's missing is our riches. So, I'm gonna give me 100,000 caps. I won't abuse it, I promise. This is for immersion. Obviously. So, I go back to Good Springs, look for the Batmobile bike. And we're finally ready to go and serve some justice on behalf of the Mojave. After a collision party, an NCR trooper tells me that Prim's off limits, cause it's filled to the brim with escaped convicts. I tell him to fear not, cause I'm Batman! And as I'm trying to swiftly pass through the mines, I fell into the underpass. I had to do the ride of shame. Parked, and the first 2 thugs we encounter in the run chose to go guns blazing. So I grab a gold Batarang and start monologuing. I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you. Actually, holy shit, that's deceptively strong. Now, as I was saying, 2 things for you to keep in mind. First off, Batman don't kill people. Nuh-uh. I kill people with Batman. Jokes aside, he's actually quite a murderous fella. Maybe not in recent times, but do look it up. You will be surprised. So yeah, vengeance shall be delivered gruesomely. Also, and I kid you not, the Batarang ain't that strong. It's weak. 38 damage, 23 DPS. That was the thing that was enough to one-shot them, and it wasn't even a crit. And I go into the Vic and Vance casino where the townsfolk have barricaded themselves. Johnson Nash, the manager of the Mojave Express in Prim, goes on to explain the details of the package we were supposed to deliver. The platinum chip. And hints at us that Deputy Beagle might know more about the man that shot us. That he'd be helping us right now hadn't he been taken hostage by the convicts. So I make a run for the Bison Steve Hotel and start bam, pow, zapping the baddies, and it's a massacre. Again, one shots, don't let it fool you. It fooled me. In fact, if I knew they would have been a thing, I wouldn't have gone for luck 1, I would have made a critical build. Oh, and they're also atrocious to try to use outside of VATS. But we reach level 2, I put the points into sneak and take the Swift Learner perk. And before Deputy Coward goes into a rant of not wanting to become sheriff, and having me do side quests that I don't feel like it, I slipped his holotape into my own pocket.
I don't suppose you came here to rescue me. I'd cross my fingers, but my hands are numb.
You suppose wrong, my good bitch.
Then I'll defer to your superior appraisal of character and prowess in contests of arms, and see you outside.
I'm gonna go now, knowing that our attackers have gone to Novak through Nipton. And for some reason, there's no sign of Thomas or Jacqueline. Oh, and the game did me a solid. It banished the bike to the underworld. It just disappeared.
Who won the lottery? I did!
I could get another one, I won't. As you can see, the Legion turned Nipton into the biggest convention of Jesus cosplayers. And as we approach the center of town, it's clear that one Mad Hatter is responsible for this nonsense, so it's Batarang time. This is also where I realized that I wouldn't be one-shotting much from here on out. And I'd love to say that it was a beautiful battle, but there was a lot of waiting for VATS to replenish, and a lot of VATS, and a lot of Batarang throws. Eventually, Vulpes goes down. So does the last of his boys, and through the power of foresight, I know there's a Viper ambush in the way. Instead of avoiding it, I tackle it head on. I ambush the ambushers, can't have these petty thugs terrorizing the good people of the Mojave. I then pass through Wolfhorn Ranch and make my way to Camp Searchlight, where Asser kindly informs us that this town gives newcomers free haircuts. All you gotta do is stay long enough. I press on, and as I'm using the grappling hook, I might have attached it to Anders. He asks us for help, but tells us he's a cam runner. Cam's bad, so I throw a... okay, oh wow. I really did miss all that. And from a couple of feet away. Oh, come on, just do the thing. Arriving in Cottonwood Cove gets me to level 3. More points to sneak. I parkour my way to Aurelius. Parkour? Rappel? I don't know the right verb for this. But I know what I must do. Show these guys that this city's full of people ready to believe in good. Cause I'll take down those who don't. Aurelius goes down in 3 hits. I go on to miss several throws against the next couple guys. Canyon Runner also gives up on crime. And this took a while. Same strategy, just tank it and wait for VOTs and use stimpaks as need be. Once they were dealt with, I find the key to free the Weathers. A unique weapon, Recompense of the Fallen, and some Legion Patrol notes. First, I open the gate. No, Mrs. Weathers. Say the line, you know which one.
When will we be free?
Oh, it gets me every time. When will we be free? Now, I can't really deactivate their colors, but I can give them the key and hope they won't blow up. That brings me to level 4, to more sneak points, and to the educated perk. I found another couple legionaries, and maybe when there's no one to activate the colors, they won't explode. Maybe the key just deactivates the colors? Yeah, I'm stupid. The key should deactivate the colors. Never mind. Back to Aster, and I tell him that the cove is now unoccupied.
What? How'd you pull it off?
The old Batman way.
Single man slaughters an entire camp of legionaries? I'm amazed.
I'm Batman! This gives me a ton of experience. I get sneaked to 75 and put the rest of it into Unarmed, since one of the other weapons I have is the Bat Fist. I then make my way to Novak and... Oh, sorry, Victor.
Alright, well, butter my butt.
No, thanks though. In the front desk we find Poison Ivy, and that's just a way for me to classify Jeannie May, who sold Boone's pregnant wife to slavery. That's a venomous bitch. I find the bill of sale, sell some of the things I don't need to Cliff Briscoe, get Manny's holotape to prevent another side quest, meaningless to this run, wait for nightfall, and let's help Boone. Now, he knows that his wife is dead, cause he followed the Legion members that took her into Fortification Hill, and he knows that she's dead, cause he's the one that pulled Mercy's trigger. Sometimes the right way is an extremely ugly way. Unfortunately for Boone, had he waited a bit more, maybe, I don't know, a main protagonist could have helped. Oh well, what's done is done, and Jeannie May got a new ear piercing. I then got a bit creative with going back to Boone. Somehow it worked. Only now can I hand him the bill of sale, and maybe now he can find some peace, or at least stop wondering if Manny was involved. This triggers level 6, I spend the points into an arm and take on the toughness perk. On the way to Boulder City, I read the Mojave of a couple more Vipers, and I can't resist not trying the grappling hook on the memorial.
What the fuck are you doing? My brother died at the Battle of Hoover Dam. You're desecrating a war memorial.
Sorry, I had to. Up next, Lieutenant Monroe tells us that he's got a situation with the Great Khans, the ones that were accompanying Benny when he shot us. We tell him everyone has a choice, and that the question is whether we're brave enough to make the right one. For example, I just made the wrong one. I told him I'd sneak up and free the hostages, so the Khans shoot me on sight. So I immediately turn back, grab a couple batarangs, and back the NCR. This makes us vilified, I free the hostages, and inside the building we find Mr. Freeze. Well, he did freeze up upon seeing me. Anyways, batarangs. And see, I told you he froze. I then get me the chairman job offer, Jessup's bandana, Benny's lighter, this gets me to level 7, has been fast. I round an arm to 75 and put the rest of the points into melee. In the 188 we find Veronica. I told her, it's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me. She fangirled for hours, so I gave her the Catwoman suit. Plenty of jewelry too, and man, don't we look great? I then go back to Doc Mitchell, he heals my radiation, I stock up on Stimpaks, not just from him, but from Chet and Dr. Ada Strauss as well. And then I fast travel back to Sloan. Through a medicine magazine that I found, I can keep my promise. Snuffles, she's no longer limping. Chomps thanks us, and I test the Bat Fist on a rat scorpion. Just the one. I swear, had I not thought of trying out the Bat Fist, I'd have encountered like 7 of them. I then make my way to the right hidden valley bunker and... Veronica's hungry.
I'd like a large atomic shake and a double Brahmin burger.
Over here, I go on to meet Paladin Ramos. Promise him that I'll keep Veronica safe, and he's definitely judging our outfits. So, I'm gonna leave before he smacks some sense into her. On the way to Red Rock Canyon, there were a couple falls, and man, I'm really loving this grappling hook. And in the canyon, all I really need is the map marker. Bitter Springs was completely deserved, and the cons, let's face it, they chilled a lot since they were being really bad people. As I was going towards Nellis, Legion assassins started coming after us. Batarangs and Catwoman punching the ever-living hell out of them solved that issue real quick. A couple raw hamburgers got tenderized on the way, and in Field Shack, I got some ammo, Abilene, and rested to replenish my health. And here comes George, the boomer that's not really part of the boomers. He wants to make a bet on whether I can survive a bombardment or not. If I reach the gate, I win. If I don't, I don't. And Bruce Wayne's rich. Wayne Bruce bad. So I'll be ignoring George and Desmond. What I care about is to see how fast I can reach the gates using the grappling hook. And they only had time to fire once, twice. I did hear a second audio for the bombardment coming our way, but neither one even hit the ground. Interesting. By the gate, the guards in disbelief. I reached level 8, put melee to 50. Spent the rest in Unarmed, and chose the second toughness perk. Raquel tells us that their elder, Mother Pearl, wishes to meet us. I oblige, and of course Veronica spawned in the way. The boomers just keep to themselves, so we're done with them. Back to the gun runners, and let's spend some of our riches. I'm thinking two-step goodbye and a power fist. Apparently it's hot outside, and since she's been awesome, she gets the unique weapon. I'll have the power fist just to pretend we're twinning, and in case these weapons scale really badly by the endgame. Now, to free side, and the first thing I see is a thug trying to mug me. But Veronica, she put those foolish ambitions to rest. Then I made my way to the old Mormon fort to stock up on even more steam packs, and the spooter traveling continues. Old Ben warns us about the Securitron cap check. I tell him I'm Wayne Bruce Bat, a trillionaire, and
Howdy, partner.
Victor says hi, so does the Omerta's greeter, although Veronica once again spawned in the worst possible place. And the Riddlers got jokes.
I had dinner at the Ultra Lux the other night. I told them my steak tastes funny. They said it was a clown. I ate a person.
Cannibalism in the Vegas Strip. Not on my watch. I also made sure to get all the free magazines and kindly told the white glove greeter that ain't no way in hell I'm turning over my weapons. This twisted little circus ends now. I started throwing batarangs, Veronica started a maniacal punching spree, I attack Mortimer, I lose Mortimer, and seriously, I lost Mortimer. I looked everywhere. I've no clue where he is, and it's been a while. He isn't with Marjorie, he isn't near the pool, he isn't in the hotel. So I gave up and went into the tops. Showed Swank the clues we've been gathering about Benny's attempts of betraying Mr. House, and upon seeing all the evidence, Swank returns me my weapons and gives me the key to Benny's room so we could investigate further. In the 13th floor we find the whole Securitron that cannot say no. Or shut up, apparently. So I go back to Swank, tell him that House is gonna be pissed, and to not worry, cause I'll be confronting the big man himself. But first, because Yes Man didn't recognize that I met with the White Glove Society already, I went back, saw a quest thingy, thought that should do it, and went on to confront Benny.
What in the goddamn?
He offers us a chance to talk in private, over in the presidential suite, and I'm gonna take the Joker's bait. He thinks he's funny, and I will have the last laugh. Just entering the suite concludes ring-a-ding-ding. That puts me at level 9, and I keep improving Unarmed. After waiting for a bit, Benny tells us the obvious. He ain't coming to the meet and greet. In fact, he's gonna skip town. Oh, and that doesn't mean that we're getting stood up. Me and Veronica take up on 2 bodyguards each, and then we dip. Back outside, I managed to get past Valerio, only for an NCR trooper to tell me that Ambassador Crocker would like to meet. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I go immediately to Yes Man, and nope, no option to ignore the White Glove Society. Valerio then gives us the Mark of Kaiser, informs us that Kaiser's admiration for our accomplishments comes with a pardon, and tells us we've been summoned to Fortification Hill. But first, Mortimer. Or rather, everyone else, cause I still don't know where he is. The way I see it, there is an extremely easy way to fix it. I'll just annihilate every single member of the White Glove Society. Once that was out of the way, I went straight to Hack Gunderson, took on the quest to rescue his son. That way we'll have no business in the Ultra Lux. Philippe he can finally spawn and these douchebags will be completely wiped out. Philippe tried to run, but he couldn't hide and...
My daddy's gonna kill all you bastards once he finds out what you done to me.
Hey, Ted, look at the suit. Let's get out of here. You've got a family reunion to attend to.
Oh my god. Ted, are you alright?
He is, and so am I, because I can finally tell Yes Man that we can move past the white glove society. I went back to the Batcave to get some more batarangs and fast travel to Cottonwood Cove, where we meet Cursor Lacalas. I tell him to start rowing, he tells me to start disarming. The game reminds me that companions cannot enter Kaiser's stance. And we go on to meet the Mojave's most important baldy.
So I finally get to meet the courier who's accomplished so much in so little time.
Long story short, we are here to fulfill Kaiser's lifelong dream of feeling the ground shake. And looky here.
Go ahead and laugh, baby. I ain't blind to the humor in this situation.
Benny. Yeah, it is pretty ironic. And he goes on to insist that we shouldn't destroy anything in the vaults. That whatever's down there is the key to the city called Vegas. That once we figure out what to do, that we should go find Yes Man, and I like that plan. In the weather monitoring station, all of our gear has been returned to us. I used the platinum chip to make my way into the Securiton vault, and apparently, Mr. House has been waiting for us. He is extremely salty that his favorite superhero spurned his invitation. Goes on to tell us that we should use the platinum chip to upgrade the Securiton army that he stashed here centuries ago, and after dealing with a couple protectrons and laser turrets, I for one think that the Mojave doesn't need an AI army. After all, it's got Batman. So I destroy the 3 generators, make a run forward, reach level 10, take the Fight the Power perk, and who's all happy and giggly?
I felt the ground shake a while ago.
You're welcome.
There are rewards for doing as I command. Today, your reward is vengeance. You get to decide how Benny dies.
Can I set him free?
You need to work on your bloodthirst. We won't speak again until Benny is dead.
Oh, I need to work on my bloodthirst. Fine, I will work on my bloodthirst. Hey, Benny, what if I untie you?
What am I gonna say? No thanks? If you can get these ropes off, I'll do my best to take down my share of the guards.
The issue is that I now only have a machete, the one the Legion just gave me. And they didn't just take away my weapons, they took my stimpaks too. To top it off, I forgot to rest in one of their beds. Benny died in an instant. I tried to tell Veronica to stop waiting and to come after me, but she didn't need to work on her bloodthirst. I've gotta go, so I pop a stealth boy and make a run for it. Level 11 comes around, and with extremely low health, I made it to the wrong gate. And at the right one, they just kill me. A ton of times, but eventually... eventually, they stormtroopered it enough for me to travel back to the Cove. And I have no clue why the game healed me. I could have just opened the Pip-Boy and used the Stimpaks, because now I have them, have a lot of them. But hey, I'll take it. 3 batarangs later and Lacalas is a goner. Now, I can't just leave Veronica in the fort. And the worst thing about the batarangs is that if a melee weapon user is super close, there's like a 70% chance that I won't hit him. So this isn't gonna be easy. Or at worst, it's gonna be time consuming. Couple minutes later, and I managed to take everyone at the entrance down. On the same attempt, it just took way more time than I thought it would. And near the tent, oh brother, don't you even get me started. I died so many times, the batarangs are really bad against a ton of melee enemies running at you and... fucking hell, look at it! It's a horde! There I was, slowly walking in one direction, trying to take at least one guy down, then running the other direction for VODs to replenish, and it finally hit me. I don't need to play fair, I can just be a dirty camper. So I take the grappling hook, go atop Kaiser's stance, find a nice spot, just somewhere where not many of them can see me, and they start dropping one by one. Anthony, Otho, Lucius, Kaiser, everyone went down. I got Sergeant Teddy, Veronica's back on the party, and Melody isn't asking for Sergeant Teddy, probably cause Anthony's dead. Well, it's a quest item, so it's impossible for me to drop it. Guess I've earned a teddy bear. I also made sure to go back to Benny, got his gear, and went back to the New Vegas Strip. In the Lucky 38, the Securitrons are shooting me on sight. Robert Edwin House is extremely pissed. And by using the Platinum chip, we can visit him in person. Why? Cause autocracies are just dictatorships with extra steps. Everyone's favorite cyborg mummy took a forever nap. Level 12 came around, I put the points into medicine and took the silent running perk. Back to Yes Man, I ask him if he wants to become Alfred, and that's an offer he cannot refuse. Just like I cannot skip the Securitron demonstration. Once that's done, we are told that the Legion, or what's left of it, is planning an assassination of the NCR president, Aaron Kimball. Most importantly, if we don't save him, Vegas will have reduced tourism for 5 years. Well, yeah. Sure, we wouldn't want that. I've also just realized that with Catwoman and Alfred by our side, this is the closest we're ever gonna get to a family reunion. So I light up a candle, make a wish, and with haste, we make our way to Hoover Dam. Ranger Grant tasks us with doing a security sweep. The console looks fine.
Hey-o!
Private Jeremy Watson's gonna get a medal. He's good. Private Jensen doesn't let me do my job near the helipad, so good enough. Kimball soon arrives, and as he is starting to make a speech, I decide that it would be a good idea to visit the sniper towers. Lo and behold, one of them was a Legion spy, so I report that to Ranger Grant. Damn it. I then go back, start booing cause I don't like taxes, and an engineer runs upstage. Fortunately, a malfunction spares Kimball's life, and he manages to leave safely. Redundant failsafe detonator. What a glorious name.
Not now.
Yes, now. This gets us to level 13, I put the points into both medicine and melee. And as I'm going to the Eldorado substation, a couple Legion assassins are after me. So I just invite them to follow me. If they want, they can go fight the NCR in the substation, cause I've got an override chip to install. Between the grappling hook and a quick in and out, our job here is complete. Back to Yes Man, and he reports that the Legion have begun marching towards Hoover Dam. We cannot let them conquer it.
You must get to the control room and install the override chip.
As I'm trying to rush through the cannon fodder, I can't but wonder. Not why the city is called Gotham, but why my brain is picturing Batman saying, "I'm Goth," repeatedly. "I'm Gotham, 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 Gotham." Sorry. I just never really grew out of making stupid scenarios in my head. And for some reason, while using the grappling hook, the game loaded by itself, as if I fell into the dam. Anyways, near the control room, I didn't really want to kill the NCR heavy troopers, especially because of the audible, wow, one of them left out. I'm Batman! I told the guy it's all good, I'm just a friend, but he had none of it, so I just used the grappling hook to be hella fast. Installed the override chip to grant Yes Man control over the dam, and made my way to the button I needed to press. We got a cool explosion, but Hoover Dam's now nothing but cement. On the east side of the dam, I just kept on being hella fast until we got to the Leggett's camp. And for some reason, the NCR now thinks that I'm a sneering punk. That's what I get for sparing the NCR heavy troopers, huh? Without crits, the damage from the batarangs is god-awful by now. Thankfully, Veronica and the Securitron came with. With patience, I took care of the Praetorians one by one until we were staring at Bane. Lanius goes on to tell me that no one cared who he was until he put the mask on, and I need to remind him that, yeah, mask, no mask. People start to care when you become a homicidal maniac. I also told him that he'd do a fire cosplay of Two-Face. Oh no, wait, that's insensitive. But the straw that broke the camel's back was when he said that Joshua Graham is nothing but a lesser cool Hush. Oh, no. And unfortunately, and as you can see, this is gonna take me a while. And honestly, my only saving grace is the amount of stimpaks that I brought in. The Batarang's disappointingly weak against Lanius. Veronica, she's down, and the Securitron got defeated. The Batfist isn't much better. And you're thinking, foreshadowing, so we're gonna use the Power Fist, right? Right? No. I really need to stop making things harder than they needed to be. Eventually, they get the best of me, and I get to do it all over again. And again. And this whole part took me, no joke, over 15 minutes, cause I was still being stubborn. And then I kept being stubborn, except I once again remembered that the grappling hook can get me away from melee demons really fast, so I took advantage of that. So, slowly but surely, managed to take every single one of them down. The Mojave's god of war went on to meet his maker, and whereas a couple Praetorians could stagger me, one by one, they are no match at all. The Legion has been defeated. We get to level 14. I take the Adamantium Skeleton perk. Veronica decides it's no longer hibernation season. And here comes General Lee Oliver, doing the slowest of walks. Follows it by reminding me of nearly every single swear word in the English language. The cigar is a lie. I don't know why the General brings Rangers instead of NCR Heavy Troopers, cause as things stand, all I need to do is to give Veronica and the Securitron some space. And can you beat Fallout New Vegas as Batman? Hell yeah! If you enjoyed this chaotic journey, hit that like button, subscribe for more, check the playlist for more challenges, the channel for more videos. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, press that join button, and let me know what other challenges you want to see. I'd also like to give a big shout out to Steve Whittle and to John Walker for their support of the channel. And to you, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, I hope I'll see you on the next one, and I hope you have a good one. Bye!
And I guess I'll see you around. We accomplished a lot together. It was fun. Take care.